For the next 2 days, I'm going to be travelling around the beautiful country of Liechtenstein, a hidden gem nestled between Switzerland and Austria in the Alps. A tiny country, only about 15 miles long from north to south, packed with breathtaking landscapes, a rich history and an identity of its own. A trip that's been planned for a few months, and it promises to be an adventure to remember. As Liechtenstein doesn't have an airport, we've made our way there by going through Italy and Switzerland. My expectations for this trip were blown away. Stay tuned as I show you around this overlooked but often underrated country. So we made it to Liechtenstein.
Yeah, we made it to Liechtenstein, and I don't know why, but we're right now coming back to
we're going back to Switzerland. So you can see this bridge that's crossing the famous River Rhine. On the side that we are on is Liechtenstein. Across the river is Switzerland. So yes, I know we've just entered Liechtenstein, but we're going to head over to Switzerland. The objective of this trip was to go to Liechtenstein, and obviously we made it to Liechtenstein, but if you want to know, to get from Switzerland to Liechtenstein, the border is basically the River Rhine. So to this side is Switzerland, and to this side is Liechtenstein. So as of this moment, I am stood in two countries. It's not very often that I can say that. So we made it back to Switzerland. We went to Liechtenstein for no more than 5 minutes. And in front of me, you can see the bridge crossing from Liechtenstein to Switzerland. And as I pan round in the distance, there is the town of Vaduz, the capital of Liechtenstein, and Vaduz Castle on the hill. So we spent our time in Switzerland admiring Liechtenstein from the distance. We're going to cross back over the Rhine River, back into Liechtenstein. While we're walking down to downtown Vaduz, I'm going to give you some facts about Liechtenstein. It's the constitutional monarchy with a population of 39,000 people, so it's one of the least populated places in the world. The capital of Liechtenstein, of course, is Vaduz, and the official language is German. The currency that they use in Liechtenstein is the Swiss franc. But don't be fooled by the size of Liechtenstein, it's actually one of the richest, wealthiest countries in the world. Some people's measure of how expensive a country can be is to go to McDonald's and see how expensive a Big Mac can be. My measure of how expensive a place is not the price of a Big Mac, but rather how much does it cost to buy a fridge magnet. So for example, when I went to Luxembourg, it cost me €6 to buy a fridge magnet. Whereas say somewhere in Asia, you could probably get a fridge magnet for like £1, $1. Somehow, I think the price of a fridge magnet in Switzerland and Liechtenstein is going to be a bit more than that. I've only been in Vaduz for 5 minutes, but it seems like they're a friendly bunch of locals anyway. I've had a couple of people say hello to me, one even commented on my Iron Maiden t-shirt. And they've even got hospitality and shelter for the bins. So as we approach the town centre, there is St. Florence Cathedral. The cathedral was completed in 1873 and is a great example of neo-Gothic architecture. It was named after the patron saint of the Principality of Liechtenstein. It is closely associated with the royal family of Liechtenstein. Important events such as weddings and funerals take place here. This honours the legacy of one of Liechtenstein's favourite sons, a reminder of the country's rich cultural heritage. We've arrived in the centre of Vaduz, in this town square, where we can see the weird and the wonderful. In one corner there is an astronaut, on the other side there is a rhino structure, and just when we thought we were finished with the weird and the wonderful, straight in front of me, we have a car with human legs. And they paid real attention to detail when this car was made. Just to show you that I wasn't joking when they pay real attention to detail. So straight ahead of us, with the EU flag interfering sometimes, is the government building. This was built between 1903 and 1905. It was the seat of the state parliament until the new parliament building opened in 2008. Wandering through the town square, I couldn't help but notice how tidy and clean the place was. How the locals seemed to take pride in where they were from and where they lived. The street art added an extra splash of colour and creativity to Vaduz. The vibrant murals and installations are not just beautiful to look at, but they also tell stories about the town's culture and heritage. The National and Postal Museums are two museums that you can visit while you're in the main street in town. For the price of around €3, you can get your passport stamped in Liechtenstein. All you need to do is head to a tourist information or a souvenir shop and the passport stamp is all yours. What do you think? Get our passport stamped?
Definitely.
Yeah.
That will be my first stamp ever in a passport. For
Wow.
some reason people don't stamp my passport. I don't know why. I don't have any.
And there we have it.
There are plenty of charming shops and cosy cafes. Whether it's a relaxing time with a cup of coffee or a unique souvenir gift, there's something here for everyone.
So we are making our way to Vaduz Castle. It looks like we have a steep hill ahead of us.
I'm already tired.
We've only taken 10 steps.
I have enough.
So to be fair, it is a pretty steep hill that we're going up. Wow, it is steep. Very steep. We are about halfway up the mountain to the castle. It's a pretty steep start, so you need to be fairly fit to get up here. But once you get past the initial start and the steepness, it starts to level out a bit, so it's not too bad. So that urbanised area down there, that is the main street in town. And then as we pan round towards the trees that are closest to us is the path that we've taken to come up. And you can see the winding path as it goes up. That's very steep. We're just about there, just one more set of steps to go up, but we've reached a little viewpoint and I'm going to show you the view that I can see. So you can see the snow-capped mountains of Switzerland in the distance. The town of Vaduz down below. It's pretty flat, the actual town itself, but it's surrounded on all sides by mountains and hills. So there we have it, the beautiful town of Vaduz down below us. What do you think of Liechtenstein, your day that you spent here so far?
I think that's one of the cleanest places I visited, and I visited a couple in my life, and that one, there's literally not even single rubbish on the pavement. Like, it's spotless. It's beautiful.
And the bits of art that you've seen throughout the town, pretty cool.
Yeah, the art is absolutely amazing. You can see that it's quite a rich piece of land here, so they have money to actually put some sculpture and, like, you know, enrich the area. Yeah, it's beautiful.
And the ice cream shop?
Oh yes, there's ice cream shop that you can pay Bitcoin, and gentleman is very, very friendly.
So going back to the cost of things and how expensive a place can be, as I said before, I mentioned about fridge magnets. I generally use that as a gauge of how expensive a place can be. I have actually been into a couple of souvenir stores and magnets tend to range anywhere between €6 and €12.50 depending on how fancy it is.
This is the magnet I bought for Switzerland, which cost €7.50, and I bought a magnet for Liechtenstein, which cost €6. Both magnets will go on my parents' fridge. Here is the picturesque Vaduz Castle, constructed in the 12th century. It overlooks the city of Vaduz and provides stunning panoramic views of the Rhine Valley. It is a symbol of Liechtenstein's history and sovereignty.
Unfortunately, the castle is actually closed to the public, except for one day a year, August the 15th, which is Liechtenstein's National Day. This is the residence of the Prince of Liechtenstein, the royal family, and on this one day, August 15th, he lets you and a few others go into the castle to celebrate with him. You made it to the top. Vaduz Castle behind you. What are your thoughts?
Well, I'm waiting for, what day is it? 15th?
The 15th of August.
Yeah, to mingle with the prince. I'm just wondering how it looks like, you know, inside. Yeah, what's Lichten glory is inside, or maybe IKEA furniture.
That is the beautiful viewpoint that we were at before. One last look at the town of Vaduz from above as we make our way back down. Vaduz may be small, but it is packed with interesting sights and experiences. The town square, or the Städtler as the locals call it, is the beating heart of Vaduz. And also, don't forget to hike up so you can get a close-up view of the castle and a great panoramic view of the city down below. So that was our time in Vaduz, but don't go just yet.
We are going to explore another area of Liechtenstein now, heading towards the small picturesque village of Malbun, and hopefully try some local food.
The journey to Malbun from Vaduz was an experience in itself. The road went up a mountain and it was very steep and winding with lots of hairpin turns. These hairpin turns can be a bit of a thrill, but they also offer some of the most breathtaking views you can have in Liechtenstein. Welcome to the village of Steg, and this is where we stop to sample local cuisine for the first time.
We are a couple of kilometres outside of Malbun and I found somewhere to eat, and below in front of me you can see an example of traditional Liechtenstein food. So we've got semolina dumplings to start off with, nice bit of bread on the outside, and then over here the main course. It's kind of like cheese pasta, and then we've got the traditional wurst on the top. Really looking forward to this, so let's tuck in and see how it is. The broth tastes very nice. Yeah, nice bread as well. Gonna chop a bit of the dumpling up soon and we'll see how that is. The bowl is a lot deeper than I thought it was. That's the texture of the dumpling.
Hot?
It's very hot. It's okay. It's not the greatest, but it's okay. But the broth is lovely, tastes lovely. We're gonna make a start on the main dish now. So the cheesy pasta. Let's tuck in, see what it's like. You can see how stringy it is. Yeah, that is lovely. And we'll try a bit of the wurst as well with sausage. If we can get it cut, it's quite deep. Oh my god, it just sinks. So try the wurst. Yes, that's very nice. It's very cheesy, isn't it? Just like this vlog. We are still in Liechtenstein, and welcome to the ski resort town of Malbun. Obviously it's very early May, so most of the snow is gone and most of the places are closed.
You can see on the mountain ahead the cable car route for the skiers.
You can tell that this is definitely the place where people come to ski. I'm a bit short of breath walking up this hill. Maybe it's my fitness, maybe it's the fact that the air's a bit thinner. I've also got my hat on as well because I'm freezing. Or maybe it's the fact that I've just put away all that food and now I'm trying to burn it off. So straight in front of me there's a beautiful church. What a lovely place, what a lovely area to come and worship. Surrounded by the mountains. So you can see in this picturesque Alpine area the hotels and the chalets down below. This is where everyone comes, where everybody flocks to in the winter time. So we've spent a few minutes in Malbun. What do we think of Malbun?
Yeah, nice place.
Nice place.
Quite deserted at the moment.
Yeah, there's no tourists about. We haven't seen any locals. It's pretty deserted. All the restaurants, all the hotels look like they're closed at the moment. So if you want to come and take some photos, send the drone up, see the landscape, now is the perfect time to come, I would say.
Probably it's giving during the
Yeah,
winter
during the
time.
winter months, I can imagine this being a winter wonderland. All the people coming up on the ski lift and then coming back down on the skis. So I'm going to take a walk through the village where the restaurants, the hotels and the chalets are. I'll show you how deserted this place is. There's a mural. That's probably the first car that I've seen driving through. There isn't a soul walking about here. I've also noticed as well there's not many places to park. All the parking places that are here seem to be monopolised by the hotels. So basically you need to have a room booked, otherwise you've got nowhere to park. Got the Bear and Hole building here. Nice mural of bears. And there are a few chalets. Spectacular views. And straight ahead there's a bus. We saw the bus come up the mountain with the bus driver, but there weren't any passengers in. Sports shop here, which is obviously closed. This will be where you go to get all your ski gear. So you can see this sign here basically translates as there's 4 rules for on the go. Number 1, pay attention to the winter rest areas. Number 2, stay on trails and designated routes. Number 3, avoid forest edges and windbreaks and snow-free areas. And number 4, keep your dogs on a leash. This is the cable car station behind me. Some more chalets on the hill in front of us. Yeah, so that's it for the ski resort town village of Malbun in Liechtenstein. Welcome to the village of Steg, still in Liechtenstein. This is where I had my Liechtenstein food, but I'm not going to show you food now. I'm going to show you a little bit around the area. These buildings are so cool, they're all made out of wood. You can see behind me. Stunning. But in front of me you've got these detached houses all made of wood again. It basically looks like you're walking down the street from the westerns. Look at them all next to each other. You can see the wooden logs against the house. And then going down the street.
To Liechtenstein, and it's just hit me. Everything here is just so neat and so clean. Even like fields for animals, they look better than central London. Honestly, it's just unbelievable.
So a day later, we have come back to Liechtenstein. Once again, the River Rhine is the border between Liechtenstein and Switzerland. So as soon as you cross the river, you cross from one country to the next. And this afternoon, we find ourselves in the beautiful little town of Balsers. Now Balsers is situated in the south of Liechtenstein, and the thing that it is most famous for is its medieval castle, Burg Gutenberg.
Another beautiful landmark of the Balsers skyline is St. Nicolaus Church. Originally built in the 12th century, but rebuilt in the early 1900s, as the original church was too small for the parish.
We haven't got a great deal of time, to be honest. We need to be heading towards Lugano for our accommodation tonight, which is about a 4-hour drive from where we are right now. So we're going to have to get a move on here, but we are right outside Vaduz Castle. I'll show you across the meadows. So unfortunately we haven't got time to go in the castle, but I'm going to send the drone up and I'm going to show you the stunning countryside.